No.
Shit, sorry. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Raul with Charlie Mike, the podcast. I'm bringing you a different type of episode today. I have a good friend of mine. He goes by Steve-O, the Gringo. He's an Army combat veteran. He's done some time in Afghanistan as well as Iraq. And he's a small business owner here in the city of Pearland. Hey, Steve-O, why don't you say a little bit about yourself, man?
Well, I'm Steve-O, man. I was 8 years in the Army, deployed to Iraq, Afghanistan, got out, started making a life for myself, man, just doing my thing.
I hear you on that, man. How's everything been? Man, so you did 8 years in the Army, correct?
Yes.
I wanted to bring you on here, and I wanted to do this episode because of the situation and everything that's happening right now in Afghanistan, and I wanted to get your point of view as far as, man, how are you seeing it? How do you feel? How are you taking everything that you're seeing on the news and reading about?
Man,
honest opinion, man. Just say what you feel. Don't.
Well, I mean, there's like a whole lot of emotions, man. It's kind of like, I don't know, man. There's a whole lot of stuff going on, dude. I feel like, one, we let the Afghans down. You know what I mean? That was, I still talk to the interpreter that I was with, and he wasn't too happy. He actually quit being an interpreter after 2011. We were supposed to, there was some people that were making promises to him in our leadership, man, and they never followed through, and he got a little frustrated, dude. So he just kind of went back home, and I stayed in contact with him, and he's upset, rightfully so. And I can't even, like, now I can't even write him. What do you say? You know what I mean? We were over there making promises. I had the government just said, hey, 9/11, 3,000 souls for 3,000 souls, we would have went over there, just jack shit up, and they wouldn't have been, we wouldn't have been there trying to build hospitals and build clinics and schools and stuff like that, infrastructure stuff. And there was a lot of, like, I was reading a news report or something like that since the war started, or I think since 2014 or something like that, there was like 50,000 Afghan soldiers killed. So, like, when the president goes on and talks about them not doing their part, that to me is, it's ludicrous. You know what I mean? So I feel bad for the people, man. I mean, you got guys trying to hold on to a plane. We all saw the videos. It's nuts. And that's, I mean, these guys worked with us, and now I just found out, actually, one of my neighbors, they have pastors over in Afghanistan. They were doing missionary stuff, and they're stuck. 2 of them got out, but there's about 20 of them over there.
And have they heard from them?
They're in contact now, but they said that the Taliban is going door to door looking for, I mean, obviously foreigners, people that have helped the U.S. too. So it's kind of disheartening, you know what I mean? And then to see all the vehicles, I feel betrayed. I don't feel like we didn't do anything good, because I mean, our main mission was to keep the fight abroad and not here. While we were there, I can tell you, yeah, there was little things here and there. Some of the guys got a little bit more action than others, but for the most part, they were just kind of hiding out. And then when we left, there was, you know what I mean? Yeah. Then they came out of the woodworks, man. And so I don't know. I just feel like we kind of failed them. We didn't have a plan of action as an exit strategy. It was just kind of like, bam, here it is.
So talk about when you first got into the country, and then something that you saw as you were leaving. I mean, the difference that you saw from the time that you got into the time that you left. Give me an example of something that you witnessed yourself.
Well, everybody remembers the poo pond in Kandahar. If you've ever been, that's the first smell you get of Kandahar. So it's even labeled the poo pond in the in Google Maps. Man, it's bad.
Yeah. So they say it was a total of 2,443 service members that were killed, and 20,663 were injured. In addition to that, there were 66,000 Afghani troops dead and 48,000 Afghanistan civilian dead. Now, with all that, and the total bill would be 145 billion spent on building military and government organizations, and another 837 billion fighting the insurgents. Now, do you feel like all those lives were lost for nothing? You know, I'm like, I've been on an emotional roller coaster these past few days, just seeing everything and then reading everything. You know, I'm not sure how to feel, man. And then seeing those, you know, all the people, like you said earlier, when that airplane was taking off, you know, the you know, what they were willing to do in order to escape that country. Did you see they like literally hanging on, man?
Yeah, no, and it was either that or the Taliban will get them. I mean, that's the Taliban don't play, dude. I mean, we've all seen videos, but yeah, man. I mean, I refuse to believe it was for nothing. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of controversy about the wars, anyways. People are saying we should have never even been, but they attacked our country, and that's, I mean, it wasn't the Afghan people, and that's not who we're fighting over there. A lot of people don't realize that. You know, like me, I found bombs, and you asked me one of the good things that I think seen is we did a lot of clearance. A lot of our, you know, buddies did clearances. Some of them didn't make it. But, you know, when a kid is afraid to go somewhere or go out, or they don't want to go down a road because it's booby trapped. For example, we were in a village, Jelaron. There was a lot of IEDs in this village. You know, we found stuff that they were making a cache. They lost 2 guys right off the bat in the mission. I mean, they're alive. They just, when I say lost, they basically limbs. And that's kind of hard to stomach, you know what I mean? And I refuse that those guys sacrifices for nothing. And so when we were done with the village, it was clear. Did the people move back in? I don't know. I did my mission and I left. You know what I'm saying? But when we left, it was clear. So there was a lot of hearts and minds stuff, and I think they should have never made promises to people that they couldn't keep, because you know, like when I was there, I've talked to the Afghanis, you know, and you're talking to a dad, you know, just like I'm a dad. And so, like the Afghan army guys, and their culture is different, you know what I mean? Some of the stuff they didn't want, but like electricity, water, stuff like that, yeah, they wanted that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Their culture is a lot different than ours. But as far as the females, it's different there for females, even if they're allowed to wear their burqas or not allowed to wear their burqas, you know what I mean? Or they, you know, they're allowed to not wear them. Their culture is just different there. And I do kind of feel for the women over there now, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, it wasn't easy for them already. Like I've worked at a prison and seen women in prison, and they put the kids in prison with the women. Like it's totally different. Not like here, if a mom goes to jail, dad gets them. If dad doesn't want them, man, they go to prison with the mom. It's crazy. Seen it. So,
man, it's just the way I don't know, man. It's hard to just. I feel for our veterans who were injured, who were the families that lost someone, the veterans who lost a close friend or a family, and I don't know like what's going through their mind. I know there's a lot of people out there struggling, so you guys don't be afraid to reach out for help. The veteran crisis line is right there at the bottom, scrolling through the bottom. If you need anything, be sure and reach out. It's okay to reach out for help and to say that you're struggling with something. Steve-O, it's just man, it's surreal, man, just seeing everything that's going on. I
mean, just all the sacrifice too, the blood, sweat, and tears that went through securing the country. And you know what I mean? Like the people that lived there, for the most part, some of them didn't want us there. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't want some dude rolling down my street in a mine-resistant vehicle. I mean, it's just not a living condition you really want. Some of those people, I mean, most of them have been born into war. I mean, that's a war-torn country since, before we were even born. So it's a total different thing there. And I think, like you come in, the United States came in and was making promises to some of these guys, and like, hey, look, and they wanted to believe. I mean, as much as people don't want to believe, the United States is still the icon of the world. I mean, China, the people that don't want to live in communism anymore in China, they look up to us. People in Afghanistan look up to us, and now we just kind of let the world down. And if we keep doing this, we're not going to have very many allies left. You know what I mean? So it's crazy, and I refuse to, like I said, I refuse to believe it was for nothing. We did a lot of good there, I think. Now, will the people get over, like being betrayed? I don't know. That's gonna have to be on them. I mean, I think while we were there, we were doing a good job, and we were keeping most of the people safe and keeping the fight abroad in their homeland or where they were training, and harboring the Taliban or the insurgents or whatever you want to call them. I think that should have been the main mission instead of going and building stuff. I'll be honest with you. I would have much rather went in, did my thing, tore it apart, and then came home. But that wasn't the mission. And a lot of those people had nothing to do with it. So you can't really do that. You know what I mean? So, but it just feels like betrayed. I don't know how else to put it. You know what I mean? Like, I lost friends, you know what I mean? So
what should have been different, man? What do you think that is just our exit strategy was
no exit strategy.
There wasn't one, right? Yeah.
That dude was like, we're out, and I don't know, man. Like I think maybe we should have left some troops, like maybe Bagram, Kabul, or Kandahar, like the major cities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you could rotate them out. It just, I don't know. We've also given up our, Pakistan. So like now we can't even launch strikes from there. I mean, I won't get into the whole thing, but they totally they screwed the pooch on this one. And I couldn't imagine, now you got a veteran sitting there thinking like they're already having a hard time coping with the shit they've seen. And then now it feels like it was for nothing. You know what I mean? And that's the wrong message that this guy's sending to the troops as well. You know what I mean? Like we didn't learn nothing from Vietnam, I guess. I mean, they don't even take care of us though, brother. So I mean, what do you really expect? I mean, I stopped going to the dang VA, and it was hard to get appointments. I mean, hell, I waited 3 months for a dental appointment just to get canceled, and then they're like, "We'll call you back," and then they call you back a month later, and then you go in for dental 3 months later. That's, you know what I mean? My dental issue isn't as bad as some people's issues, brother, but that's how they do you. You know what I mean? I had a dude WebMD in my symptoms, brother. So, like, I mean, do I really expect nothing less, man? No, I'm kind of like, you know, it seems like the government isn't what it used to be. You know, I love the military because they would die for me and you without question. You know, their heart is in the right place. However, I think they're being led astray by a government that doesn't really care about us except for its own agenda, man. I mean, I hate to be that guy, but you know.
No, it's real. I think I saw something, man, where it was like how they were saying, oh man, I can't, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was just like, oh, you know, you're loved 1 year and you're hated the next, and things along those lines, you know, and it's just, man, I don't know. I want to say so much that I'm at a loss for words, if that makes any sense.
I mean, I was also upset when we left Iraq, man. We were pulling out. I mean, it's good to see the guys come home. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. Because, I mean, 20 years, brother, like, I was in Iraq, and some kids were freaking in elementary school, and now they're in high school getting ready to graduate. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, I am happy that they're coming home. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. But it was just totally FUBAR the way they brought it. You know, they brought it about. I mean, one day we were there, one day we're not, and then
yeah, that was that's insane the way that took place, man. I don't understand that. I guess it was just like, hey, grab your shit, let's go. I don't. Yeah,
I guess that's why you got your AB bag always ready to go.
Man, that's something different, bro. But like, I don't understand how. You know, it pisses me off some type of way right now seeing, you know, these guys with our Humvees, with our weapons, with our everything. They had, man, I saw like a pile of NVGs, everything that we used.
Excuse my French, man, but you know what's fucked up, dude, is we would have walked all the way across Fort Carson, like 30 arms touching, looking for some NVGs, and they're just going to leave them shits in Afghanistan. I'm just saying, like, I can't tell you, they've shut down posts for shit like that. You know what I mean? And now you're just going to leave all kinds of stuff. And it's ridiculous. I mean, millions and millions of dollars just sitting there in their hands. That's what's more, you know, people talk about, oh, that's our tax dollars. I'll be honest with you, dude. That ain't even like 0.25% of our budget. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. However, it's the fact that now they're going to be using them against the people of Afghanistan. You know, yeah. That's what pisses me off. You could at least destroy it. I know there was some engineers. They're usually the first ones in and the last ones out. They could have blew that shit. I'm just saying.
I agree with you. I talked about that with a couple of different people. I just didn't understand. And then again, I mean, we spent how many 20 years training the Afghani army to be prepared for something like this. Probably not this fast, but something along these lines. And they're saying that they just laid down and just took it. You know, I'll be
honest with you, man. I don't know if they just laid down and took it like the news makes it out to be. I don't believe half the crap you see on TV now.
Oh yeah, me neither.
You know what I mean? Like I think they probably started getting overrun. And then you saw the video as Afghani propaganda, or even propaganda for us. Because, I mean, we used to do that kind of stuff, man. Like, we would show that we were making progress and send flyers out. You know, they'd, you know, meet with elders and hand out stuff to the villages, letting them know we're going to be helping them and doing this. So, you know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, they were probably fighting, and then we're getting overrun, and then got the hell out of there. I mean, there's only a certain point where you have to retreat at some point in time, or else you're going to die. You can live to fight another day, or you can, die there. And a lot of us say we would die there, but I promise you, if we were in a firefight and the commander gave an order to retreat, your ass is going to retreat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to back up, and then move forward. It's happened in a lot of battles, I guess you could say, where you've had to kind of back off, regroup, and then go back in. I mean, do this. But I don't see that happening now. I mean, they got weapons I didn't see no Mark 19s. Hopefully most of the military can't even put that damn thing in operation. But if they had one of those, it'd be crazy.
Yeah, I saw the drones. I saw a little bit of everything, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So going from here, man, what do you expect to happen? What are kind of, I want to say, your hopes for their future, but that's unrealistic to say that there's anything positive going to be happening anytime soon.
I don't know. I hope our government realizes they messed up and figures out some kind of way we can aid them.
But do we go back and start again? I mean,
I don't know about going back. You know what I mean? There's still Afghan special forces. I know they're hunting those guys down. You know what I mean? But they're still the military, and I'm hoping that maybe, like, if they could establish communications with us or something, maybe we could do. But we can't even. We're gonna have to, cruise missiles and shit. Like, we can't even launch from Pakistan anymore. So it's from what I heard. So you know what I mean? I don't think they can really do much anymore.
So if you see a lot of the main Taliban in, I think it's Kabul. Was it Kabul? How do you say it?
Kabul. Yeah.
I mean, at what point do you be like, okay, let's just bomb the shit out of this place?
Bro, I mean, while he was giving the press conference, dude, they could have just dropped one on him right there in Moab. I mean,
it makes sense.
Like, now there's known targets, but I mean, we ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna be honest with you, like, the leadership, and I'm trying not to go on a political thing here.
Say what you gotta say, but
the leadership is different from last year's last term. You know what I mean? If he would, and then the term before Trump, they were negotiating with terrorists. I almost wore my shirt. You know which one it was, the red shirt.
Yeah.
But we were trading top Taliban leaders, and one of the leaders standing in the video, from my understanding, was actually released from Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah.
So, and that was under the leadership. I'll be honest with you. If there was a known Taliban and they were killing U.S. soldiers or even Afghan citizens, or even had something to do with the attacks on the United States, they should have been tried and hung or killed. I'll be honest with you. And we went in with our hands behind our back anyways. I'll be honest with you. A lot of people we could have just leveled the country. There was a lot of rules of engagement that we had to fight, and red tape. I've literally investigated, almost got blown up. I say almost got blown up. Almost freaking died. I was about 30 feet away from a blast, cleared for secondaries, and then we had two gentlemen walk past us, and so we just happened to stop and search them, and they had electrical tape and batteries on them, and yet we couldn't do shit with them. So, like, to me, bro, that ain't something you just walk around in your pocket, brother. Like, you know what I mean?
Nah, yeah.
And then where the initiation cord led to was where they were kind of hanging out. So, but we had to follow the rules, man. So there's a lot of stuff we could have done to make things better, but that's not the case. I think we just need to figure out a way to help these guys, especially get in and get the people that we owe a debt to, like your interpreters and all that stuff. We owe those guys.
Yeah,
there'd be a lot more dead soldiers if there wasn't good interpreters, because some of them we even worked the province or even lived in the areas or knew people that lived in the areas and kept us out of danger. You know what I mean? Because they would know, like, okay, the villager said this, man, and I believe him. There's a bomb there. So
Man, is there, after everything that you've seen going on right now, man, would you say that you've had any regrets about in any type of your service, any service that you've done overseas? Have you yourself, do you have any regrets?
I do not regret my military service. I don't really have any regrets. I mean, there are personal regrets that have to do with stuff that happened while I was there, but not like regret the service itself. I mean, like I used to find bombs, and then like a lot of combat engineers, we found bombs for a living. And I looked at it like this, man. A lot of people hated doing it, man, because we called it licking windows or shit like that.
Yeah.
You're doing 5 miles an hour on a road looking for sticks that look funny. I mean, that's not a fun job. But when you look at it like me, I looked at it like, hey, man, I had a kid that was 7, and there's a bunch of kids running around playing soccer. You know what I mean? I mean, you know how it is. I mean, kids love soccer out there, so they'll run around play soccer. In some places, they won't even play because they don't know where the bombs are. You know what I mean? So when we found one, that's what I looked at. I was like, look, man, I'm doing a good job, you know. And then there's also that time where things hit the fan and you got to get a little wild, man. I mean, it's just, I don't want to say wild, but
yeah, I know what you mean.
It just all adrenaline, everything just kicks in and you do your job. You know what I mean? I don't regret any of it at all.
Man, yeah, I think I keep talking about the exit strategy because it's something that I'm so confused by, and I, I, like you say, I think we should have maybe downsized a lot, but not to the extent that we did, and little by little, proceed on to the next level. I'm just a little confused by. How you say it? I'm confused by your tactics.
No, I hear you. No, and I mean, I don't know, man. Like it is kind of confusing. I don't know what the thought process was. I mean, from my understanding,
there wasn't one.
There was, yeah. From my understanding, there was warnings like, "Hey, look, if we do this, this will happen," and then we were lied to. I mean, but it ain't the first time, man. Like you could say Joe Biden lies to it, but I mean, every president that I know of has at least told us one kind of lie or one form or another. I mean, we won't go there, but
yeah,
so it's not just, and who knows, somebody wrote that thing and put it in front of him and said this, say this. I mean,
so at what point do we get rid of the leadership that we had that went along with that? I mean, who? I
don't know how any generals could stand for that.
I can't remember his name, to be honest with you, but how does
if I was a top-ranking general in the White House, man, there's no way I would put in my resignation. You're old enough. If you're a 4-star general, you're old enough to drop your papers any damn way.
Yeah,
I get it. You don't want to.
How do you even co-sign that though, man? I don't understand.
I couldn't do that. Like you would fire me. Like,
yeah.
I might even do Leavenworth time. You know what I'm saying? Because I would. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of stuff, man, that I've seen some of the top officials doing in the past years, man, that's changed. Like I think when I served, it was under good leadership. There was still stupid stuff coming out, like towards the end of my 8-year stint, man, the whole you can't haze and do all that stuff. Like stupid rules started coming out. I mean, and then there's always SR major walking around in country talking about your boots aren't bloused and stuff like that. I mean, they got nothing better to do but make good money and tell you to put your bootstrings in your boots and stuff. So, but I don't know, man. I just couldn't do. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know. I think maybe you should reach out to a general and be like, "Hey, bro, like, tell me how you feel."
Yeah,
there's a lot of leadership and a lot of soldiers looking at these guys with this big rank on their chest going, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know. Man, I just
excuse me. And I'll be honest with you. I think that they owe it to their Joes
an explanation.
Yeah, I mean, I know in the military nobody's owed an explanation. You're just told to do it, and you do it.
Right.
But especially the guys that or overseas, even the guys that aren't even in the military no more. I think they're owed it. Now, if they would have came out and said, "Hey, look, dude, we're completely broke. We can't afford this no more," then, yeah. I mean, I've had a bill or two in my past that I couldn't pay, and I could understand that. You know what I mean? A little bit better than just nothing at all. And you're out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I know what you mean, man. Give me some final thoughts, brother. We've been on. Give me some final thoughts. What do you think?
It's gonna work out one way or another, brother. I think you're gonna see an influx in activity in the United States. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
Because now there's nobody over there putting pressure on them.
Give them time to regroup.
Yeah, I mean that's what they're doing, man. Shit, they already regrouped, brother. Like they took over. They were never gone. They just went off in the woodworks, dude. They didn't want to fight toe to toe with the military, and I mean, who would want to? All these people talk about we need a revolution, brother. Y'all have no idea what the damn government's capable of, dude. Like, but that's the thing is they were all kind of like pop out of here. I mean. I don't want to take nothing away from Vietnam. Those guys went through some shit.
Yeah, man.
But that's kind of like what it was. Is they'll hide, and then they'll smile to your face and give you pita bread. You know what I mean? And then at nighttime they're shooting at you, trying to blow you up or burying a bomb. Man, that's just you didn't know who you were fighting. And so like they were already regrouped. They never went anywhere. But like, I mean, we held ground and we kept them at bay. But now they came out of the woodworks, and they look at it as a defeat. They look at us like Russia, brother. That's what's even nothing against Russia. I ain't talking mess about them, but that's another thing is they think they won. They don't. And it wasn't even a win or lose. At first we were there to win, capture bin Laden, but then it turned into hearts and one thing, and then we completely fumbled the football on that one. So.
You gonna give a message to your veteran brothers and sisters and the families that lost loved ones in Afghanistan? What is it?
Don't give up hope, man. We did a good job.
I love that. That's awesome. What I want to say is to my veteran brothers and sisters, don't think that your work was for nothing. You did an amazing job, and it's something to be proud of. To the families who've lost a loved one, know that they will never be forgotten, and that it wasn't. It was a purpose. There was some, I'm not sure how to word it, but if you're struggling with anything right now, please reach out for help. There's the Veteran Crisis Line. It's at the bottom. It's scrolling. Yeah, but you know what I mean. It's there if you need it. If you reach out for help, please do. Don't think that you're alone. There's a lot of people feeling the same way that you're feeling. So speak to someone. If it's not one of your brothers and sisters, it's it's a professional, but please do it. Don't feel like you're alone. Steve-O, will you do me a favor, man? Plug yourself, bro.
Nah, well, man. Y'all take it easy.
All right, brother. As always, guys, Charlie, Mike, Steve-O, stay on.
Oh, okay, my bad. Nah,